There comes a moment, a point beyond which the soul can wait no longer. The hour can delay no more. The voice of God grows louder than all other voices, and it declares, God's saying you must start now. The point at the side of heaven, the sight of heaven. That moment is not hidden in the shadows of some distant future. It is not buried in the someday you've whispered in your heart. That moment is not waiting for a more convenient season or a better version of you. The moment is now, and the voice of the Lord cries out, you must start now. You've prayed for direction, yet when it comes, you wait. You've asked for confirmation, but when the wind shifts, you hesitate. You've said, Lord, if you open the door, I will walk through it. And now the door stands wide open, and still your foot has not crossed the threshold. You are not waiting on God. He is waiting on you. There is a divine urgency in the voice of God. His timing is not like the timing of man. He speaks not according to comfort, nor does he act according to delay. When the Lord calls, it is not for the sake of curiosity. It is for movement. It is a call to rise, to act, to break out of the tent of complacency. It is not a suggestion. It is a command wrapped in mercy, a holy summons disguised as a whisper. The call of God does not come when your circumstances are perfect. It comes when your faith must rise beyond them. And yet we sit, we wait, we second guess, we ask again what has already been answered. We seek signs when the word has already been spoken. But heaven does not wait forever. When God speaks, time bends. What seems sudden to you has long been written in eternity. The moment you call a now was planned before your breath ever entered your lungs. But the tragedy is this. If you do not step into that moment, it can pass you by. Destiny does not linger. The doors of heaven do not remain open forever. Ask Noah. The ark waited for a season, but then the hand of God shut the door. Ask Lot's wife. One moment of looking back was enough to turn movement into monument. Ask the 5 foolish virgins. They had the invitation. They had the lamps, but they waited too long. The cry of the bridegroom came, and they were not ready. They missed their moment, not because they were wicked, but because they delayed. The greatest enemy of your calling is not the devil. It is not even fear. It is delay. Procrastination is cloaked disobedience. Indecision is the silence of a soul that won't move. And heaven does not partner with the passive. You say you're praying about it, but often that prayer is just spiritualized delay. You say you're waiting on confirmation, but the Lord already confirmed it when he planted the fire in your bones. You were not made to sit still. You were not born to survive. You were created to move mountains, to split seas, to tear down altars of compromise and raise up banners of truth. But none of that will happen unless you start. Not tomorrow, not next year, not when things settle down. You must start now. The enemy knows he cannot stop the plan of God, so he whispers delay into your mind. He makes you think there's more time, that you'll always have the energy, the opportunity, the open window. But that's a lie. Even Jesus wept over Jerusalem, not because of what they had done, but because of what they had missed. If only you had known the time of your visitation. The door had opened, and they failed to walk through it. They were too busy, too distracted, too religious, too bound by their timing to discern God's. Don't make the same mistake. Don't wait for peace to come before you obey. Obedience is the doorway to peace. Don't wait for the fear to leave before you move. Faith is what drives fear out. Don't wait for the plan to be perfect. Abraham didn't have a map, only a word. Go. So why are you still standing at the edge of your calling, staring at the waves like they'll part before your feet touch them? Why do you hesitate while the ground trembles beneath you and heaven cries out for action? You are living in a prophetic hour, a time unlike any other. The things you've dreamed of are not waiting in the distance. They're on the other side of your movement. The enemy fears your obedience more than your shouting, more than your praying, more than your fasting, because your obedience activates what heaven has already prepared. But none of that matters if you don't begin. God has already spoken. The question is not whether he has called you. The question is whether you will move when he says now. You were not placed on this earth by accident. You were not created to simply fill space or pastime. You were born for this moment. Your life is not a random sequence of events, but a divine orchestration that fits perfectly into God's plan. There is a reason you are alive right now, in this season, at this point in history. The God who formed you in your mother's womb knew exactly where you would be, who you would become, and what you would do. Your life has a purpose that stretches beyond your own understanding. You were born for this hour. The world will tell you that your life is just one of many, that you are just another face in the crowd, another soul lost in the shuffle of time. But this is a lie from the enemy designed to distract you from the truth. You are not an accident, and you are not invisible. You are a divine creation, formed by the hands of a loving God, with a unique purpose and calling. The Bible says in Jeremiah 1:5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you." God knew you before the foundations of the earth. He saw your life in its entirety, your struggles, your victories, your mistakes, your triumphs, and He chose you. He set you apart for a specific time, a specific purpose, a specific calling. When God created you, He didn't just give you life and leave you to figure things out on your own. No, He placed within you everything you would need to fulfill the destiny He designed for you. He gave you talents, passions, and abilities that are uniquely yours. He gave you a personality, a heart, and a spirit to carry out His will in a way that no one else can. You were not made to fit into someone else's mold. You were created to stand out, to rise up, and to fulfill your own divine purpose. God has equipped you for everything He has called you to do. But here is the truth that you must come to understand. The world does not define your destiny. God does. You were not born for the purpose of fulfilling someone else's agenda or living out someone else's dreams. You were born for the kingdom of God. Your life is part of His eternal plan, and it matters. Leap. The enemy wants you to believe that your life is insignificant, that your dreams are too big, that you are too small, too weak, too unqualified. But that is the lie. Your life matters. The dreams and passions that stir in your heart are there because they are part of the divine design that God has placed within you. You were born for more than just existing. You were born to impact the world, to bring the light of Christ to the darkness, to speak truth when lies are all around, to live with purpose and conviction. You are not just here to occupy space or get by. You are here because God has called you to be a force for His kingdom, to carry out His will on earth as it is in heaven. It is easy to become distracted by the chaos of the world, to look around and think that your purpose is too small or insignificant to make a difference. But this is not true. Every step you take in obedience to God, every action you take to bring His light into the world, every moment you spend living for His glory is part of the eternal plan. The impact you make may not always be seen immediately, but it is always felt in the spirit. Every prayer you pray, every act of kindness you show, every time you speak truth, you are fulfilling the purpose God has placed in you. God has not called you to be ordinary. He has not called you to live a life of mediocrity or comfort. He has called you to greatness. He has called you to rise above the ordinary and live with a radical sense of purpose. This world may try to tell you that you are just one person, that your voice doesn't matter, that your actions won't make a difference. But don't believe it. God's kingdom is made up of people who are willing to stand up and step into their purpose, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Every movement, every act of obedience, no matter how small, is significant in God's eyes. And when you step into your purpose, you are joining the great cloud of witnesses who have gone before you, who have fulfilled their purpose, and who are cheering you on as you fulfill yours. God does not make mistakes. You were born for this time. You were created for this hour. The world needs what you carry. The people around you need the light, the truth, the love, and the purpose that God has placed within you. You are not here by chance. You are here because the Creator of the universe has a divine assignment for you, and He has equipped you with everything you need to carry it out. Do not underestimate the power of the life you are living. Your purpose is real. Your calling is divine. You were born for this moment, and the world is waiting for you to rise and fulfill it. The call has already gone out. It has already been sounded, and the moment of preparation is over. The time for waiting, for sitting in the comfort of security, has passed. The alarm of heaven is ringing, and it is impossible to ignore. The trumpet is blown. The sound is clear, unmistakable, and it demands your attention. Yet many remain asleep, unaware of the urgency of the hour, trapped in the illusion that there is still time to rest. But the truth is this: time is running out, and the call to action is no longer optional. It is mandatory. You have heard the call. You have heard the voice, but have you truly listened? The sound of the shofar, the trumpet that signals the beginning of the end, is not just a noise. It is a declaration. It is a divine proclamation that something is about to shift, something is about to break, and heaven is calling you to stand up and be a part of what is to come. But if you do not move now, if you do not respond, you will miss it. The opportunity will pass, and the moment of destiny will slip through your fingers like water through a sieve. This is not a time to delay. It is not a time to wonder, is this the right time? The time has already come. The time is now. The world is filled with distractions that seek to lull you back to sleep. You have become so accustomed to the noise, to the busyness of life, that you have lost sight of the fact that heaven is speaking. You have become comfortable with the mundane, comfortable with the routine, comfortable with your current position. But God is not calling you to comfort. He is not calling you to settle. He is calling you to move, to rise, to act, and to step into the greater calling He has prepared for you. The sound of the trumpet is a wake-up call, and you cannot afford to miss it. You cannot afford to wait any longer. The time is now, and your response to that call will determine the course of your future. The call of God is never convenient. It will never come when you are ready. It will never come when the circumstances are perfect, when your life is in order, when everything is lined up the way you think it should be. No, the call will come when it disrupts your plans, when it demands a sacrifice, when it forces you to step out of your comfort zone. But in that moment of discomfort, you will find that the call is not a burden. It is an invitation to participate in the greatest move of God that the world has ever seen. The calling on your life is not for the faint of heart. It is not for those who are content to live in the safety of the familiar It is for those who are willing to take a step of faith, to trust that God will provide everything they need as they walk in obedience. You may not feel ready. You may not feel equipped. You may look at the task before you and think, how can I possibly do this? How can I make a difference in such a broken world? But the truth is this, it is not about your ability. It is not about your strength. It is not about your wisdom. It is about God's ability to work through you. It is about His strength being made perfect in your weakness. It is about His wisdom guiding your steps, even when you cannot see the way. The call is not about you. It is about God moving through you. It is about you stepping out in faith and trusting that He will empower you to fulfill the purpose He has set before you. The time for preparation is over. The time for second-guessing is over. The time for waiting is over. The shofar has sounded, and now it is your turn to respond. You cannot afford to let fear, doubt, or complacency hold you back any longer. You cannot afford to let the distractions of life pull you away from the call that is echoing in your spirit. The enemy will try to convince you that you are not ready, that you are too young, too old, too inexperienced, too weak, too insignificant, but those are lies. No, God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He does not wait for you to be perfect. He calls you in your imperfection, in your brokenness, and He makes you whole as you walk in obedience to His will. The time to act is now. The door is open, but it will not stay open forever. The opportunity is here, but it is fleeting. You have a choice. You can step forward in faith, or you can stay where you are and let the moment pass by. But know this, if you do not step into the call, someone else will. If you do not respond to the trumpet, another will take your place. God's plan will move forward with or without you, but you have been given a specific role, a specific purpose, and the question is whether you will choose to play your part. The window of opportunity is narrowing, the call is growing louder, and heaven is waiting for your response. There is a divine timing that governs the unfolding of God's plans, a moment when the heavens align with the earth, when the seasons change and the doors that have been opened before you begin to close. There is a sacred window of opportunity that appears, and it doesn't wait forever. If you do not step into it, if you do not move in the direction that God has called you, you may miss the greatest move of your life. You may find yourself standing on the sidelines, watching as others walk into the promises that were meant for you. The urgency is real. If you do not start now, if you do not move in obedience to what God has spoken to you, you may miss the shift that has been waiting for you. This is not a time to wait. It is not a time to wonder whether you're good enough, prepared enough, or equipped enough. or equipped enough. The enemy would love for you to sit in doubt and indecision, for he knows that the longer you delay, the more you risk missing the opportunity that God has placed before you. There is a time to prepare, yes, but there is also a time to act. There is a time to plan, but there is also a time to step out in faith. And now is the time to act. Now is the time to move. The window that you are looking at is not as wide as you think. The time of preparation, of thinking, and of strategizing is over. Now is the time to launch, to take the first step, to do the thing that God has called you to do. It may not be perfect. It may not be as polished as you envisioned. When God calls you, it is not a matter of convenience or timing that you control. It is a matter of obedience to the divine plan that has been set before you. And the call is clear. You must start now. Sure, you must start now. Every single person who has ever walked the earth has had moments in their life where the opportunity to move in a new direction, to step into something greater, has been presented. And for many, these moments pass unnoticed or ignored because of fear, doubt, or a belief that they are not ready. But there is a danger in missing that moment, because the moment may never come again. There is a sacred window of time, a divine opportunity that you must take hold of when it appears, because once it closes, it may be gone forever. God doesn't give you a lifetime to wait. He gives you moments to act. And if you don't seize those moments, you risk missing the greater plan He has for your life. When God calls you, He doesn't call you based on your readiness. He doesn't call you because you have it all together or because you figured everything out. He calls you because He has a purpose for you that is bigger than your understanding. He calls you to step into something that stretches you beyond your limits, something that challenges you and forces you to grow. But growth requires movement, and movement requires action. Oh, you cannot grow if you remain stagnant. You cannot move forward if you are constantly waiting for the perfect time to act. The perfect time will never come. God calls you in the midst of your imperfections, in the middle of your uncertainty, and expects you to step out in faith. The hesitation to move is often rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of making the wrong decision, fear of not being good enough or qualified enough. But that fear is the enemy's tactic to keep you from stepping into what God has for you. Fear wants to paralyze you, wants to keep you locked in a place of indecision, constantly second-guessing every choice you make. But fear cannot hold you back if you choose to act in faith. The fear may not disappear immediately, but you do not wait for it to go away before you move. You move despite it. You take the first step even though you don't know exactly how everything will turn out. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite it. If you do not start now, you risk allowing fear, doubt, and procrastination to keep you in a place of stagnation, missing the very thing that God has called you to. The opportunity will not wait forever. You cannot afford to put it off any longer, because if you do, someone else will rise up and take the place that was meant for you. God's plan will not be hindered by your refusal to act, but it will certainly change the course of your life if you don't respond to it when it comes. There are people waiting for you to step into your purpose, to step into the destiny that God has for you. And if you do not move, those people may never hear the message they were meant to hear or experience the change that only you could bring into their lives. The moment to step into your calling is now. And every delay you allow in your life only brings you one step closer to missing that moment. This is not a time for indecision. It is not a time to hesitate or look back. The call to action is urgent. It is not a suggestion. And it is a command that comes from the heart of God, and it requires your immediate obedience. If you do not act now, you may find yourself standing in the same place a year from now, still wondering what could have been, still wishing you had moved when you had the chance. The regrets of missed opportunities are far heavier than the discomfort of stepping out into the unknown. Don't let fear keep you from stepping into the fullness of what God has for you. The window is closing. The time to move is now. God is not calling you to remain where you are, in the comfort of the known, in the safety of the familiar. He is calling you to rise up, to take that step, to move forward into the destiny He has already prepared for you. The plans He has for you are far greater than what you can see in this moment, and they require you to take action. No more waiting. No more hesitation. The time to act is now, and your destiny is on the other side of your obedience. The door is open, but it will not stay open forever. Will you walk through it or will you let it close on you? The choice is yours. Start now. Don't wait any longer. The call is here, and it's time to respond. God's call is always present, always there, waiting for you to recognize it and respond. It is not a suggestion, nor is it a request. It is a command, an urgent, direct command to move, to act, and to step into the divine purpose He has already set before you. And the truth is this: you have been chosen for this very moment. You have been prepared for this time, for this season. Your life is no accident, and the path before you is not a random series of events. Every experience, every challenge, every victory, and every defeat has led you to this moment. But now the question is, will you act when the call comes? Will you step into the destiny that God has prepared for you? The call is clear. You must start now. It's easy to get caught in the idea that there's always a better time, that one day the perfect opportunity will come, that all your questions will be answered, and all your doubts will be settled. But the truth is, God does not call you to wait for the perfect moment. He calls you to move in faith, even when the way is unclear, even when the steps ahead are uncertain. It's easy to tell yourself that you need more time, that you need more preparation, that you need more clarity. But God is not waiting for your perfection. He's waiting for your obedience. The call He has placed on your life is not one that will come with all the answers. It will come with questions, challenges, and obstacles. But it will also come with a promise that if you move, He will be with you every step of the way. Every moment you hesitate, every moment you delay, the enemy rejoices. He knows that indecision is one of the most effective tools to keep you from fulfilling God's purpose for your life. Fear will always try to convince you that you're not ready. Doubt will always whisper that you're not equipped. But those are lies designed to keep you trapped in the comfort of familiarity. God never calls the qualified. He qualifies the called. He doesn't call you because of your abilities. He calls you because of His power at work within you. He will equip you along the way. He will guide you. He will strengthen you. But He cannot do any of that if you don't move. He cannot work through you if you remain where you are. Your purpose is greater than your current circumstances. Your destiny is not tied to what you see around you, but to what God has spoken over your life. It is easy to look at the obstacles ahead and think, this is too much for me. But the truth is that God has already seen the end from the beginning. He has already ordained your steps. He has already made a way where there seems to be no way. All He is waiting for is for you to take that first step in faith. The things you fear most, the failures, the mistakes, the challenges, are the very things that will shape you and prepare you for the future He has for you. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that God will only bless you if you have everything figured out. Don't wait until you have every piece of the puzzle in place. Because here's the truth: God will never give you every answer up front. He will never show you the entire map before you start walking. What He gives you is enough light for the next step. He will reveal His plan for you piece by piece, and you must trust that He will provide everything you need as you go. If you wait until everything is perfect, you will never start. But if you step out in faith, you will see how He makes a way, how He moves in ways you cannot yet imagine. The call to action is now. There is no more time to waste, no more time to sit idly by, waiting for the right moment to begin. The right moment is now. The opportunities that God has prepared for you are right in front of you. But if you do not take action, if you do not move in faith, those opportunities will pass you by. And then you may look back and wonder what could have been, what you could have accomplished if only you had moved when He called you. But by then, the doors may be closed, and the chance to walk in the fullness of God's plan for your life may be gone. You cannot afford to let fear, doubt, or procrastination steal your purpose. The window of opportunity is open, but it will not stay open forever. Every moment you delay is a moment lost. God is calling you to act, to step forward, to move in faith, and to take hold of the promises He has given you. He has already equipped you for this moment. You are ready. You are more than capable because He is with you. You were not created to sit on the sidelines of life, waiting for the perfect conditions. You were created to step into your purpose and to walk boldly into the future God has prepared for you. The time to act is now. There is no more waiting, no more hesitation. Your destiny is waiting for you to take the first step. You were born for this moment. You were created for such a time as this. The door is open, and all that is left is for you to walk through it. Will you go? Will you step out in faith? The call has come, and now it is time to respond. Start now. Start now. Take that first step, the rest will follow.